In a dramatic escalation of the long-standing conflict between Iran and Israel, central Israel has been struck by a powerful Iranian missile, reportedly hitting and destroying a drone factory in Petah Tikva. According to a report from Iran's state-affiliated outlet Noor News, the strike resulted in extensive damage, leaving the drone facility in ruins and raising critical security concerns for the region. Imagery from the site reveals burned machinery, collapsed structures, and significant destruction throughout the compound, with emergency teams working tirelessly to manage the aftermath. The attack's impact left a substantial crater, emphasizing the missile's destructive power and raising questions about the effectiveness of Israel's advanced air defense systems, which reportedly failed to intercept the missile. The targeted site in Petah Tikva is believed to be associated with Israel's drone technology, underscoring the strategic importance of the strike. The Iranian missile's ability to bypass Israel's sophisticated defense systems has sparked fresh debates over their reliability and has amplified concerns about the escalating precision and reach of Iranian missile capabilities. While nearby residential buildings were in proximity to the strike, they narrowly avoided significant damage. Authorities have noted that a slight deviation in the missile's trajectory could have resulted in catastrophic civilian casualties. Remarkably, no casualties have been reported from this particular incident, despite the scale of destruction. This attack marks a significant intensification in the conflict, with high-value strategic targets now being directly assaulted. As missile strikes grow more precise and defense systems face mounting pressure, the likelihood of a broader and more perilous escalation looms large. In another development, the conflict has taken a dangerous turn in northern Israel due to recent Iranian ballistic missile attacks. Multiple reports indicate that several cluster munition impact sites have been identified in the Haifa area following the latest wave of Iranian missile strikes. These cluster munitions dispersed bomblets across the impacted zones, causing damage to infrastructure, including roads and vehicles. While no immediate casualties have been reported from these sites, a separate incident near Haifa resulted in an injury. Emergency services reported a 79-year-old man in Kiryat Ata was lightly wounded when stone debris dislodged by the shockwave of the blast struck him. Israeli military analyses suggest that the Iranian missile involved was equipped with a cluster bomb warhead designed to scatter multiple smaller explosives over a wide area, thereby amplifying the attack's reach and impact. The latest strikes follow a brief lull of nearly 8 hours before Iran launched a renewed ballistic missile attack targeting northern Israel. Earlier, another Iranian missile carrying a similar cluster warhead had spread bomblets Akar, central Israel, causing additional damage. The evolving threat of missile attacks is intensifying as Israel prepares to adapt its ground strategy in Lebanon. According to Israeli military sources, there are plans to establish a security zone in southern Lebanon, a move that comes amidst ongoing debates within Israel's military leadership regarding the feasibility of disarming Hezbollah completely. A senior military official previously indicated that such an objective might be unrealistic to achieve during the current offensive. However, the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, have clarified their stance in an official statement, reaffirming their long-term goal to disarm Hezbollah over time. As the battlefield sees the introduction of cluster munitions and missile attacks expand in scope, the conflict is rapidly escalating, raising fears of a more destructive phase of war sweeping across the region. Meanwhile, questions persist about Iran's utilization of its ballistic missile arsenal against both the United States and Israel. In a revealing report by CNN, U.S. intelligence assessments suggest that about 50% of Iran's missile launchers remain operational, and thousands of one-way attack drones are still part of Iran's arsenal, despite continuous U.S. and Israeli strikes against Iranian military targets over the past 5 weeks. A U.S. intelligence official speaking to CNN noted that the Iranian military retains a significant capacity to inflict damage across the region. The official remarked, "As we have stated, we declare to the American Zionist enemies that your information about our military capabilities, power, and equipment is incomplete. You know nothing of our vast and strategic capabilities." The official further asserted that Iran's strategic military production remains intact and beyond the reach of U.S. intelligence, suggesting that the U.S. and its allies have failed to significantly impact Iran's strategic missile production sites' long-range offensive. The drones and other military assets. This statement underscores the complex and challenging nature of the conflict, with Iran signaling its readiness to continue the confrontation and warning of the consequences of underestimating its capabilities. As the international community watches closely, the situation remains volatile, with the potential for further escalation. The conflict's dynamics are shaped by not only the immediate military engagements, but also the broader geopolitical implications, with both regional and global powers vested in the outcomes. The unfolding developments continue to emphasize the fragile balance of power in the Middle East and the high stakes involved for all parties. The Iran-Israel conflict has reached a new level of intensity, marked by a recent Iranian missile strike that successfully hit a central Israeli target. This escalation adds a dangerous dimension to an already volatile situation in the Middle East. According to Noor News, a state-affiliated Iranian outlet, the strike targeted a drone manufacturing facility in Petah Tikva, Israel. The attack resulted in extensive damage, leaving the facility in ruins and raising significant security concerns throughout the region. Imagery from the site shows burned machinery and collapsed structures, with emergency teams working tirelessly to manage the aftermath. The impact of the missile created a substantial crater, emphasizing the destructive power of the attack and raising questions about the effectiveness of Israel's advanced air defense systems, which reportedly failed to intercept the missile. The strategic implications of the attack are profound, as the targeted site is believed to be linked to Israel's drone technology. This underscores the strike's significance and raises questions about the reliability of Israel's sophisticated defense systems. Nearby residential buildings narrowly avoided significant damage, with authorities noting that a slight deviation in the missile's trajectory could have resulted in catastrophic civilian casualties. Remarkably, no casualties have been reported from this particular incident, despite the scale of destruction. This attack marks a significant intensification in the conflict, with high-value strategic targets now being directly assaulted. As missile strikes grow more precise and defense systems face mounting pressure, the likelihood of a broader and more perilous escalation looms large. In another development, the conflict has taken a dangerous turn in northern Israel due to recent Iranian ballistic missile attacks. Multiple reports indicate that several cluster munition impact sites have been identified in the Haifa area following a new wave of Iranian missile strikes. These cluster munitions scattered bomblets across impacted zones, causing damage to roads and multiple vehicles. So far, there are no immediate reports of casualties from these specific impact sites. However, in a separate incident near Haifa, a 79-year-old man was lightly wounded in Kiryat Atta after a cluster munition struck a residential area. According to Israel's Megan David Adam, the man was hit by stone debris triggered by the shockwave of the blast. Israeli military assessments suggest that the Iranian missile involved was equipped with a cluster bomb warhead. Such warheads are designed to disperse multiple smaller explosives over a wide area, significantly increasing the spread and impact of the attack. The latest strike comes after a lull of nearly 8 hours before Iran launched a fresh ballistic missile attack targeting northern Israel. Earlier overnight, another Iranian missile carrying a similar cluster warhead spread bomblets across central Israel, causing additional damage as the missile threat intensifies. Meanwhile, Israel is preparing for a major shift in its ground strategy in Lebanon. According to Israeli military sources, plans are being drawn up to establish a so-called security zone inside southern Lebanon. The move comes amid ongoing debate within Israeli military leadership over the feasibility of disarming Hezbollah. A senior military official had earlier suggested that completely disarming the group during the current offensive may be unrealistic. However, the Israeli military has now clarified its position. In an official statement, the IDF reaffirmed its long-term objective to disarm Hezbollah over time. With cluster munitions now entering the battlefield, missile attacks expanding in scope, and ground operations set to deepen, the conflict is rapidly escalating, raising fears of a wider and more destructive phase of war across the region. Iran's missile capabilities are under intense scrutiny as U.S. intelligence assesses the current state of Iran's arsenal. According to a recent CNN report, roughly 50% of Iran's missile launchers remain intact, and thousands of attack drones are still within Iran's arsenal, despite ongoing U.S. and Israeli strikes against military targets over the past 5 weeks. A U.S. intelligence official told CNN that the Iranian military remains highly capable of wreaking havoc across the entire region. Thousands of Iranian drones still exist, and the official emphasized, asterisk, as we have stated, we declare to the American Zionist enemies that your information about our military capabilities, power, and equipment is incomplete. You know nothing of our vast and strategic capabilities. Asterisk, Iran's rhetoric underscores its confidence in its military capabilities, with officials dismissing claims that key strategic sites have been destroyed. Asterisk, the centers you mistakenly believe you have targeted are utterly insignificant. Our strategic military production is carried out in locations of which you possess absolutely no information, and you will never, ever be able to reach them. Asterisk, the statement continued. This bold declaration highlights the ongoing tension and the potential for further escalation in the region. These developments emphasize the complexity and danger of the current geopolitical landscape in the Middle East. The conflict between Iran and Israel is not just a regional issue, but has significant implications for global security. As missile strikes grow more precise and defense systems face mounting pressure, the likelihood of a broader and more perilous escalation looms large. The international community is watching closely as these events unfold, with the potential for further involvement from global powers. The strategic importance of the Middle East, combined with the volatile nature of the current conflict, makes it a critical focus for diplomatic and military efforts. The situation remains fluid, with the potential for rapid changes that could have far-reaching consequences for the region and beyond.